Hi and welcome to Mars Makes. Thank you so much to everyone who has watched, liked and subscribed so far. Today I'm showing how to make decoration pieces out of bangles, which are worn by South Asians as jewellery, often at celebrations. At the end of the video I have a slideshow of everything made and the ordering and sizes of bangles used. I bought bangles in Asian shops in London in the UK in the available sizes from 1.12 to 2.10. Shops might let you buy their batches of bangles with different colours in one size, which they make sets out of. They might also have a box of odd bangles which were previously part of a set. Smaller sizes are for kids, and this was a common kid style in London, selling for £1. I'm introducing two different types of knot which will be used regularly. Knot type 1 will often be used twice together, noted by ×2 or times however many knots have been made between the bangles. I have captioned which knot and how many times it is used at each stage. Thread type 1 is thicker and used for decorations which have more bangles because this becomes heavier, versus thread type 2 which is thinner plastic and less visible for lighter decorations. I'm also using metallic embroidery threads. Embroidery threads often have 6 strands which I will normally separate to use 2 or 3 strands together as thread. This is the fiddliest type because you don't get the stretchy tension of the plastic threads. The idea is to tie knot 1 × 2 around a bangle in 3 places and then place a bangle in between and repeat tying knot 1 × 2 around this bangle on all 3 corners. I'm making sure that the 3 string sections are in a triangle shape at an equal distance from each other, moving the thread along if needed. Also take care that the double knot is on top of the bangle so that the decoration is an even height when you pile the bangles up. If you make a mistake with the position of a knot, it's easy to fix with a pin. A seam unpicker works even better. I'm going to show an example of making a lantern with thread type 2 with spacings that almost look like bangles separating on your arms. The first 2 bangles have a bit of a gap between them, and the idea is to tie 2 corners with knot 1 × 2, then tie the final corner and push the inner bangle so it's centered. Along the bottom is the ordered list of the bangles used so far, from top to bottom. I'm using knot type 2 of different heights to make the base for the next bangle, creating a gap. I'm piling 2.10s on top of each other for the gaps. At each stage I'm moving the thread so it's still in a straight line through the decoration. This 0 cm tie is on the opposite side to the 0 cm tie when we made the first gap. I'm rolling this 0 cm tie inwards so it's not seen. I've now attached the green bangle with knot 2 of the heights shown. I'm weaving plastic thread type 1 through the bangle where I want the battery tea light to be positioned. You can see that the battery tea light now rests on the support. Here is a solution for when the battery tea light doesn't fit into the bangle that's going to be used to hold it. To tie off the ends of the strings holding up the bangle, I'm weaving the threads back through the previous pink bangle, then tying knot 1 to secure so that the knot won't be visible from the outside. I'm attaching thread so that the lantern can be tied onto different surfaces. Here I've made a vase using mainly blue and some pink bangles. When I move a torch around the vase, you can see coloured patterned reflections from the bangles onto the surface. Here I'm making a hot air balloon, and I made a basket to attach to the bottom. I've painted a stripy pattern with brown and orange felt tip pens to look like a basket. The 0.4 cm section is going to be glued to join the card together. This card will become the base of the basket. Here I'm drawing on sections that will be glued to the sides of the basket. Here I'm knotting on gold embroidery thread so that the basket can be attached to the balloon. I'm making sure that the first knot is positioned on top of the cube and pulling tight. This way, the thread lines the sides of the cube. I'm also gluing the embroidery thread to the basket for decoration. Next, I'm gluing the sides of the base and then pressing firmly onto the sides of the cube. I'm tying knot 2 to the threads so that the basket can be attached easily. I've also tied the plastic base for the tea light to rest on inside the balloon. The battery tea light also looks like the flame inside a hot air balloon. I'm weaving the gold threads back through between the pink and green bangles and then tying knot 1 to secure, so that the knot won't be seen on the outside. I'm just cutting off the excess gold thread, and now the hot air balloon is ready. For the bird cage, I used 3 strands from the embroidery thread as I wanted thick thread to look like bars, and I put 2 ties close to each other for effect, while the other 5 ties are at equal distances. I made a bird from rose petals to put inside, which you can see how to make in my previous video, which I have linked in the top right corner. I've used thread 2 to knot the bird inside the thread loop. When the bird is positioned at the desired height inside the cage, I'm taking one of the strings suspending the bird and pushing it through the gap between the top 2 bangles, and then tying knot 1 times 3. This part can be a little fiddly. For this decoration, I took 2 sets of bangles that fit inside each other and tied them together, then connecting to the next set with 4 lots of knot 1. This decoration also spins in the wind. I have suspended the pieces onto bamboo and laced some ribbon through the bamboo rods. I think it would be a fun decoration for a mehndi night, which is an Asian henna party during weddings, or even just as decoration anywhere. Here is the view in the dark, with an external garden light in the background. Next is a picture of each decoration with a list of bangle sizes and the order in which they are used. The order in the list goes from the top bangle to the bottom bangle. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and share and subscribe for more content. See you next time.